So today we're reviewing
Annabelle.
So Annabelle, the famous. This is a big drop off from Conjuring.
This is the only. Well, this is the only so far the only misstep in the Conjuring universe.
Yeah, the only one.
It just the feel of it just doesn't feel the same. And this movie, like the Conjuring, came out in 2013. This one came out in 2014, and I feel like they just. Like, you saw the doll in the first one, it was not focused on at all. It was just in that scary scene with this rocking chair.
They hyped it up.
And then you see it in that room. And I feel like it wasn't directed by James Wan, it was directed by John Leonetti or something.
So not James Wan.
And I feel like what happened was they saw the doll as an opportunity, and they just jumped on it as fast as they could. I mean, the fact this movie came out in 2014 means they just try to... I mean, it really does feel like they threw this movie together in, like, 2 months.
Yeah,
The quality just doesn't. It feels
cheap.
like a really like a sci-fi channel horror film, except for maybe one scene.
Yeah,
which I'll get to later.
Yeah,
but
I'm not just trying to hate on a movie, and I know making a movie takes a lot of work, and that's why I don't like bashing. Yeah. That's why I don't like hating on a movie completely, because it is a big project. It just feels cheap, and when comparing it to Conjuring, every jump scare, watching it again, just seems so cheap, really ineffective. Other than obviously one scene that we keep talking about.
Yeah,
it's
just like the acting. It's not. They didn't do a bad job. It was just after the first one they were just like phenomenal acting, and then this one just across the board, just very average acting. I'm not an actor. I just think. And we're watching these movies. We've seen great actors.
I just think
average
they didn't
type
have that much to work with.
No, they didn't have much to work with. They could have done so much more with it. For this movie alone, I guess we also need to say, I didn't see this movie in theater. Like you did see it in theater.
I did, and
I saw it on, honestly, the first time I saw it was on TV, on Sci-Fi. So then that says something right there about the quality of the movie.
True, it does.
And I just think even seeing if I saw it in theater, maybe I'd have a little bit different opinion. I still think I'd have a pretty similar opinion.
Yeah, this scene that everyone points out.
The best scene in this movie that really just it's like it goes to the kind of film that it could have been was the one scene where the main actress goes down to her basement of her apartment complex to do something in an elevator, and that whole sequence is just great. She's down there, it's really scary. You see that crib come in with a baby crying. She tries to run back into the elevator and it shuts, it opens back up. That's the first time I've seen that in a horror film. And then obviously right after that, just like this great scene.
She sees the head above the crib.
Yeah, I actually didn't see that.
Yeah, that's really
Which just shows I need to see it again to maybe see my rating goes up. And then she runs up the stairs and then she looks down the stairs, and then that scene, even though
the actual jump scare is horrible.
Well, yeah, that's terrible because it zooms in on it and makes it look like it's a joke.
Yeah,
But it's just like, for me, I had heard so much about this scene without actually seeing it from you guys saying it's the scariest scene in the movie. Then when I saw it for the first time, I don't know if it's like I was expecting to see something so much scarier. Like I was so hyped up to see this scene that it honestly wasn't. Like it was scary. I mean, I can say it's not scary. I just think I was expecting some beyond horrifying thing because you guys said someone screamed in the theater.
Well, that person was no, but I mean, it's the kind of thing. It's like the Madeline videos, or just some ghost. You see the thing on the stairs, and honestly, that whole scene is perfect.
Yeah, that whole moment out of the film is better than the rest of the film combined.
And you see the thing on the stairs, which is great because you don't need a sound effect. You see it on the stairs crawling.
But then they do the really cheap.
The jump scare is just it looks awful, and I'm not trying to. But I have a perfect way they could have done this scene. You see him on the stairs.
That's it. And
he's
gone.
You hear thunder, and he's gone.
That's it.
And then maybe you have a jump scare later, but just have him gone. And then she runs up, and then he's in the room. But just
that
don't.
Maybe, or possibly, you see him down the stairs and he disappears, and then she starts running. Then you hear his crawling up the stairs, really fast. That'd be pretty scary. You don't even need to see him.
You hear and that scene. You see his arm or his hand, his claws on the guardrail when she looks down. That's great too. And then
that was good too, but that's that same little sequence there.
Gone. The jump scare is horrible.
Other than that, and that alone, and we might as well just get into our final scores, because I don't really know what else to say about this movie, to be honest. We've covered a lot of it.
Yeah.
And then for the most part, at the end, I don't know. It's a very unmemorable, a really forgettable horror film, honestly. And it's sad to see it from this universe because I think this, as it's shown in the next Annabelle, even though it's a prequel, it shows what an Annabelle movie could be.
There's one moment that I want to say. The one memorable moment is when she's angry at the doll and she starts hitting the doll in the baby crib. It looks like the baby. That was a shocking moment in the theater that I was like, oh my gosh.
She actually killed her baby. Yeah.
It looked like she did, but it was just playing tricks on her. But that was a memorable moment for me. I thought that was a good moment, but not good. But memorable.
I mean, that was something else. I just think
scary.
It wasn't. I'll say again, I'm not going to bash this actress. She really didn't have much to work with. So, I mean, it's not really her fault. It's the director and the writers who did this. For me, and our ratings are a little bit different. For me, I'm kind of like Angry Joe. My a 5 is average for me. It's like in the middle of 1 to 10. So anything below 5 is just below average and not very good at all. And I mean, obviously a 5 isn't great, but it's an average film. And for me, this one, if it wasn't for that basement and stairs scene, would probably be like below a 5. So that scene alone gives it 0.5. And I'd have to give this. This movie is slightly above average, so I would give this movie a 5.5 out of 10.
Yeah, and that obviously that scene is great, and I love that scene. But I cannot just give it.
It's not worth going to the theater.
Yeah, I can't give it a freaking 10 because that scene was great, and that scene was kind of ruined with the jump scare. So yeah, that scene was awesome. Scale? Yeah, my rating scale 7 or 8 is probably average. A 5 is not good. So I'll give it a 5 out of 10 because it was still. I mean, because a 5 is just it's basically failing to me. Yeah. And the movie, everything just feels cheap. The jump scares are bad. And that scene was really good until they ruined it. So, if they ruined the only thing I liked, then it's just not.
And they had enough to work with to make this a much better film.
They spoiled everything in the trailers,
I still think because it's in this universe, it has more of the lore into it. And there's that scene, and there's still a couple other moments in there that are decent. That it's slightly above average because there's some really, really bad horror films that are like 2s and 3s. So this is definitely a slightly above average to me. And that was our quick review of Annabelle.
Yep.
So we'll see you guys in the next movie review. Bye, guys.